Last year, the White House released a report telling agencies to prioritize union shops with pro-worker employers when awarding government contracts. This includes the Department of Defense. Workers are central to the United States national security and the strength of our defense industrial base. I'm concerned that the Navy is not following through on the President's commitment to unions and workers. For example, I've heard reports that the Navy is consistently passing over union shipyards for contracts and giving them to non-union shipyards instead. And some of these non-union shipyards are already at capacity, working on multiple contracts at the same time, while the docks at the union shipyards are sitting empty. So it sounds like even though there's plenty of work to go around, the Navy is actively choosing to ignore union shipyards where workers generally have better wages and better protections in favor of non-union shipyards that are already overburdened with contracts. Secretary Del Toro, do you agree that the Navy contract should prioritize union workers when their shipyard is ready and able to do the job?
I do, Senator, in accordance with all the other regulations that drive the issuance of contracts under the FAR.
Good, thank you. I agree with you on this. You know, this has serious consequences. Missing out on contracts can mean closing the doors for these shipyards and laying off hundreds of workers, especially for smaller shipyards. And it means the next time that the Navy needs a ship repaired, it'll have to go to a non-union shipyard that's likely already overextended, resulting in delays and threatening our ability to protect our coastline and to support our allies. The implications of this are huge. As ongoing conflicts like the war in Ukraine and the threat of future conflicts fuel demand for weapons and other equipments, delays in completing crucial projects could leave us vulnerable when we most need security. So, Secretary Del Toro, do you agree that the closure of union shipyards is a threat to the defense industrial base?
Senator, the closure of any shipyard in the United States can present a threat to the United States in terms of our ability to build our ships and maintain our national security. And I would be most interested in actually getting the details of those reports that you mentioned so I could validate whether they're true or there's other issues at play that I'm just not familiar with.
Well, that's good. But we also, the good news is that the Navy still has time to change this approach. You said earlier this year that now is the time to invest in the defense workforce, and I couldn't agree more with you on that. Part of the solution should be to take advantage of the resources that we already have, but we are not using or not using enough, like union shipyards. And more broadly, there's a lot that the department can do. For example, making sure that contractors are properly notifying employees of their right to organize, improving contractors' compliance with anti-union consultant disclosure forms, and ensuring that federal funds aren't spent by contractors on union busting. So, Secretary Del Toro, can you tell me what steps you plan to take to ensure that the Navy is reinforcing the defense industrial base while preserving union jobs?
Well, Senator, I am committed to preserving union jobs, as I said earlier, and we actually have several union shipyards that are already under union labor agreements as well, too. And my commitment to you is that I will work with my acting Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Research, Development, and Acquisition that I hope will actually have a permanent Assistant Secretary RD&A for, so I could actually invest more time in looking into these issues and many other issues as well.
Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you on this. President Biden has made an historic commitment to empower workers by prioritizing union labor in federal contracting. And as you know, DOD is not exempt from that pledge and should not want to be exempt from that pledge. Protecting union jobs in the defense sector is a question of national security, and I look forward to working with you to make sure that the Navy can fulfill its duty to the American people.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.